morning children. The first prose lesson we start is his first flight by Lion O. Flaherty. The author's name is Lion O. Flaherty. The young seagull. The story is about a young seagull who is unwilling to fly with his mother or with his parents and his siblings. We see in the first lesson that he is afraid and he is terrified of the sea, the large sea that spreads right in front of him. The young seagull was alone. That means his father, his mother and his siblings have already left that place and they are on the other side of the cliff, on the opposite side of the cliff. Even his siblings have flown. Only this young seagull to fly in the air. That was a very successful flight for the young seagull. Now we come to the last paragraph of the lesson children. Then the young seagull was able to fly successfully in the air by the motivation and the encouragement given by the mother. So he was very happy to fly in the air. We see the words, he uttered a joyous scream. The young seagull uttered a joyous scream and flapped them against. He soared higher and he was very happy. He could not understand this was so easy to fly. So he soared higher and higher. Down from below, he is soaring up in the air. He raised his breast and banged against the wind. So he was very happy to go round up over the sea, and the words ga, 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 ga. Galula, his mother sweet past him, her wings making a loud noise. He answered her with another scream. Then his father flew over him screaming. Then he saw his two brothers and sister flying around him, soaring and diving. So the whole family was quite happy when they saw the young seagull flying in the air. The whole family was circling round the sea. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly, and commenced to dive and soar, shrieking shrilly. The bird was so happy. It was giving a very beautiful noise while flying. He was near the sea now, flying straight over it, facing out over the ocean. He saw a vast green sea beneath him with little ridges moving over. Little ridges means the tiny waves, that is the ridges over it. He turned his beak sideways and crowed amusedly. His parents and his brothers and sister had landed on his green floor in front of him. That means the whole family except the seagull, they are on the floor of the sea, on the sea. They were beckoning him to him, calling shrilly. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. Now he got rid of his fear and he was standing on the sea. That means his legs were touching the water. His legs sank into it. He screamed with fright and attempted to rise again, flapping his wings. But he was tired and weak with the hunger, and he could not rise, exhausted by the strange exercise. His feet sank into the green sea, and then his belly touched it, and he sank no further. He was floating on it, and around him his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering scraps of dogfish. He had made his first flight. Finally, we see in the last paragraph how he was able to experience the first flight with the help of his mother. His mother's plan worked out very quickly and he was able to fly without any fright, and he was with his family once again. Now you are able to understand the whole lesson children. I hope you understand. Now we see the meanings in the glossary. Ledge. See you will be given an option. Ledge, a narrow shelf that juts out from a vertical surface. Shrilly, producing a high pitched and piercing voice. You need not write or, you need not leave that or sound. Producing a high pitched and piercing voice, that is the meaning. Herring, a long silver fish that swims in large groups. You can see these fishes under the water. They move in groups. They are known as herrings. Devour. Eat something when you are very hungry, you devour. That means you are very, very hungry. You eat large quantities to subside your hunger. Now, cackle, a sharp broken noise. That is enough. Or cry, you need not write. A sharp broken noise. That is the one. Now, mackerel, a sea fish with a strong taste often used. Mackerel is what you call as vanjaram.
You understand mackerel? That is a very tasty food. Sears is vanjaram, mackerel is vavval. Mackerel வந்து வவ்வால்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Sears வந்து வஞ்சரம்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Very tasty fish. Everybody likes to eat those fishes. Now, gnaw, to bite. To bite. Gnaw means you can see the animals gnawing. That means they சொரன்றதுக்கு தான் gnawன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Just to scrap the flesh from the bone is known as gnaw. To bite. Repeatedly or chew something. You chew something. Trot, to run in short steps. You can find the babies running in short steps. They are known as trot. To run at a moderate pace with short steps. Only you can find in the toddlers or babies. They run in short steps. Precipice, this should be pronounced as precipice. A very steep side of a cliff or a mountain. You come to the edge of the mountain, that is known as a precipice. Where you look down, you can see a large expanse of water. There the precipice stands. You can see in the films where the hero and heroine, they dance and move along near the edge of the precipice. You can see the beautiful scenery of the mountains at the back and the large expanse of water under the precipice. Plaintively, very sadly, that is known as sadly, calling in a very sad way. Swoop, to move. Swoop means only the birds are attached with the word swoop. They move very fast to catch its prey. You can see the eagles. They fly in such a great height, they swoop down to catch its prey. So, the birds are connected with the word swoop. Beckoning, making a gesture with the head or head. That means gesture, beckoning. You call them like this, that is known as gesture, beckoning. A right word for gesture is beckoning. Now, we have gone through all the meanings and you have to prepare these meanings thoroughly, children, and afterwards we see the short answers that is given at the back of the exercise. How was the young seagull's first attempt to fly? That is a very important question. How did the parents support and encourage the young seagull's brothers and sisters? So, you refer all the answers connected to the question in the book itself. It is very easy. It is given in simple English. You refer all this. Now, we go on to the vocabulary exercises which are very important. Now, you find in the question paper, some of the short questions will be taken from the first lesson. You have the 7 units. They select the short questions which carries 3 marks. So, you have to prepare the short questions very thoroughly, and afterwards we have the paragraph answers which carries 5 marks. So, you have the paragraph answers here. Describe the struggle underwent by the young seagull to overcome its fear of flying in the air. So, you understand one paragraph answer and you have to prepare the short answers by yourselves. So, this lesson seems to be very easy. You prepare it thoroughly when you are at home. Now, read the following vocabulary exercise. When I read, you follow and mark it with a pencil. The young seagull uttered a joyful scream. Adjective. Joyful is adjective connected to the noun. Now, we see that the nouns, all the adjectives that describe the noun. I already taught you this. Adjectives that describes the noun. Always have this in mind. Describes the noun that you call in Tamil as Perchol. Now, she is a girl. We call this as girl as a noun. You want to give more elaboration on the noun. You want to describe more about the noun. You say this as she is a pretty girl. Pretty girl. So, this describes. The noun is described as adjective. It speaks. The noun is spoken here as adjective. What are the words that come before the noun that describes the noun is known as an adjective. So, we see here joyful adjective and scream is the noun. The young seagull screamed with joy. When you change the joyful into noun, it is known as the joy. The young seagull screamed joyfully when you had LLY. Joy is a noun. Joyful is adjective. Then you have joyfully. You have this ly that describes, that adds meaning to the verb, is known as adverb. I drew this picture. When the teacher asks how, you say beautifully. You add an ly, that is known as adverb. The adverb speaks about the verb. The adjective speaks about the noun. That is the difference you have to find out. Now we go to the set 2. The young bird pretended to be falling asleep. Pretended, underlined word is verb. The young bird made a pretension of falling asleep. Pretension is noun. The young bird made a pretentious posture. Pretentious, adjective. It speaks about posture is noun, pretentious is adjective. Pretension, made a pretension is a noun and pretended is verb. So you see he has given examples of describing all these words as noun, verbs, adverbs and adjectives. Now we go on to the parts of speech given in the chart. Now you take a pencil and you write that. Exhaustion is noun. Now we have to write the verb for exhaustion as exhausted. So we have to write, convert that noun into a verb. Noun, verb, adjective. You have the chart there. Then you have the adverb. These are the 8 parts of speech we learn in English grammar. So this is the basic foundation we are going to see here. The first one is exhaustion. You have that in your book, exhaustion. Now for the verb it is exhaust or exhausted in past tense. Then you have exhaustive, exhaustive, and you have exhaustively. You have the ly attached here because the adverb. The second one is he has given verb widen. We have to write the noun as width. You must be coming across this in your maths. Then you have adjective as wide. Then you have adverb as widely. You can see very clearly how I write. Now you follow this chart. Then madness. Madness. Now, noun, under noun column you write madness. It's a madness of you. Madded. Verb is madded. Now you go to the adjective side, it is mad. He is a mad person. That is adjective connected to the noun. Madly is adverb. Now you are able to understand, children? This comes under madded. I am madded by this thought. Madness, it is mere madness, that is noun. I am madded by this thought. Mad, he is a mad person. He is madly about certain things. Madly, ly, that is adverb. So we come across the next one. Noun is perfection. I completed the work in perfection. Perfection, you have to write tion, perfection. Noun is perfection. Perfection, perfect in verb. Then you can write perfected also in past tense. Then you have perfect work, that is adjective. Perfectly is adverb. So, you understand this chart very clearly, children. You write this chart in your book and just get to know about these words very clearly. Now, we go on to the next exercise. Read the following sentences and change the form of the underlined words as directed. His family was screaming. The underlined word is screaming and offering him food. To adjective. So, you have to write his family. You have to write this as see how I convert this. Have you all written this? If you haven't written, write fast. I am rubbing the board. So, we see here the underlined word is screaming. So, we have to convert this into adjective. See how I convert. His screaming family. You have to write like this. This is adjective and this is noun. So, how I converted as screaming to adjective, screaming family. So, this is known as adjective. It talks about the family noun. Can you understand? Now, we go on to the young seagull gave out a loud call. Into an adverb, this young seagull the young seagull, what did I teach you? The young seagull gave out a loud cry. The loud becomes the seagull called loudly. So, we attach ly to the adverb loudly, that is converted. The loud call becomes a loudly. The bird cackled amusedly while flying. Into a noun, we have to the bird. Into a noun, we are going to change the adverb into a noun. The bird cackled. You have to add with amusement. So, this is the noun. We change the adverb into a noun by using amusement while flying. The other words you can understand. So, the next one is the depth of the sea from the ledge scared the seagull. To adjective. So, we have to see how the depth is changed. The depth of the sea. So, we hear the deep sea into an adjective. The deep sea from the ledge scared the seagull. The others are quite all right. The depth changes into deep sea into an adjective. The successful flight of the bird was a proud moment for the seagull's family. To a verb. So, to a verb, we have to write it was moment for the seagull's family to see the seagull fly. This is the verb. So, you have to change it according to the sentences that depend on. Now, covered. Now, we have to make sentences using this as a sentence of your own. Covered, you know very well. You know very well what is the meaning of covered. Not brave enough, not bold enough, not bold enough to say something, not bold enough to act something, to do something, to do some work, you feel very shy, covered, you have a fear inside. You have to prepare a sentence using this word. Now, I hate to be a coward. If you want to be a brave person, you have to have a dislike for coward. So, you can use the word, I hate to be a coward. I don't like coward persons. Now, gradual. It was a gradual climb on the mountain. Praise. My mother is all praise, worthy of all praise and honor. Courageous. I am a very courageous person. Starvation. No one should die of starvation in this world. Starvation, complete hunger, where the poor people suffer, they starve the whole day. That is known as starvation. Starvation is a noun. There you can understand very well what are the words given there. Now, this is a question that listening is, you have a paragraph at the back, this is not so important. We go there and find out, do you think they had a memorable, enjoyable? Now, these are not that important. We go as to the next chapter, a dialogue between a father and his daughter. So, we have to do this. Now, we have to fill up this. We will do it later on. Now, we go on to the advertisement, that is writing. This is very, very important. Now, name of the product and brand and outlet. These are the advertisements we will do in the second paper, children. We will do that in the second paper and follow the complete ideas in that. Now, models do not change. Models do not change with the person or number of the subject. Complete these sentences using appropriate. You take page number 12 and follow these rules. Models. When I was a child, I used to climb. Ability in the past. I used to. That you were able to climb a mountain. That is ability. You are an able person. That you were an able person to climb a mountain. So, ability is for that you use the modal verb used to. Now, determination. Determination will always have the word will. I will win this singing contest. Definitely, you have a determination to win this contest. So, the word used here for determination is will. You should buy this book. Advice or suggestion. You should. The advice or suggestion comes along with should. Pungodai can speak several languages. Ability in the present. We saw the ability in the past. Used to is ability in the past. Now we can see can, that is ability in the present. Now Pungodai can speak several languages, ability in the present tense, can. Can is a present tense word. Used to is the past tense ability. Now I swear, I shall not tell lies again. I swear, I promise. That is a promise you take that you will never tell lies. I shall never tell lies again. தண்ணி குடிக்கலாமா? Now, what all I say, you fill up in the blanks. The first one is, when I was a child, I used to. I used to. Now, you see this, you have to write that in that blank, used to. I am rubbing the board. Used to. This is the word used for ability in the past. Past na iranda kalam. I used to, once upon a time ku dhaan used to nu solveni. Next one, determination is will. I will do this work. I will complete this work. Next one is you shall. You can give an advice is shall. Now you go to this ability in the present is, I can do this work. She can speak several languages. I swear I shall tell no more lies. I shall never tell lies again is a promise. Now we go on to the next one. My father dash played badminton. Used to play. Past habit. Once upon a time, always I used to say. The past tense will come with D. So my father used to play badminton in the evenings when he was at college, a past habit for his father. You shall do as I say. It is a command by the teacher or your superior. You use the word you shall. Would I have another class? It is a request. Would I come inside? You ask, please excuse me, miss. Please excuse me, madam. These are the requests you make, and you can ask, would I call? A very polite word using for request, would. Sibi has not practiced hard, but he can win the race. He did not practice, but we have that he can win the possibility of winning the race. We should preserve our nature. That is definitely it is our duty to preserve. Should or must can be used. Rewrite the following sentence by using, this is a exercise given here, rectifying the errors in the use of modals. Rewrite the following sentence by rectifying. Now this will be taught in the classes very clearly. Now we go on here, read the following dialogue and fill in the blanks with suitable modals. First, Dad, shall we go out for dinner tonight? Use the word shall for Dad. Charan, yes Dad, we should go to a restaurant where I can. After I, you place can. Dad, okay, then I will be home by 7 p.m. Right, I will. Mom and you should be ready. Charan, sure, we will. My friend told me there is a magic show nearby. Could you please take us there? Could. Dad, we may not have time to go for the magic show. I suppose if we have enough time left, we can plan. Charan, by the way, should we inform our gatekeeper about our outgoing? Dad, yes, we should, so that we'll be aware we aren't at home. Charan, shall I call up mom and tell her about our plan today? You ought to, use the word ought to. O-U-G-H-T, ought to. Otherwise, we might be in trouble when she returns home. Charan, by the time you come home in the evening, we will be, W-I-L-L, will be waiting for you. Hope you won't be late. You will not be late can be understood and written as won't be late by. Now, these are the dialogues we have to prepare in the composition notebook. Now, can you follow all the instructions given? Can you understand, children? Now, we go to the voices. The next one is active voice and passive voice. Already we have done that in standard 9 and learnt about the active and passive voices. Now, we shall learn some more forms of the voice. We can have this in the next session where I continue with voices, active and passive voice. Say Vinay, say a pattu Vinay. That is active voice and passive voice. I hope you understand. Thank you.